Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube. Today we're gonna do a little video. I'm back to content creation because Rebel Clash is coming up. I'm excited. Seems fun. So today I'm gonna be going over a my list for the Limitless Invitational uh, qualifier number one. So before that, if you guys need Rebel Clash, go over to ptcgostore.com and use my code Rahul to get Rahul 5 I think to get 5% off your codes. So check that out for Rebel Clash. I'm getting mine soon. So for now, uh, you guys I don't know if you guys participated in the Limitless Qualifier 1 or this is your second redux of Qualifier 1, but I'm going to go over my thoughts on the whole tournament and my deck list and how I'd perform personally. So the tournament itself was a effort from the Limitless crew, Philip, Lydia, David, and others. I know there's a lot of people involved behind the scenes, but those are the three that come to my name first, so I'm not excluding anyone. You guys all did an amazing job. They put together a show the first time around with a Battlefy and tournaments. And the first time around, there was a lot of server issues. And unfortunately, after like 3 hours, only 2 rounds had been played. Round three kind of bugged out, and everyone left disappointed. They went through a lot of hoops and hurdles to work with Smash.gg, Arcanine Labs, and set up a second tournament that took place um, this past weekend, if you guys are not already aware. So let me explain my Limitless One Invitational to you in case you guys want to play the other three that are happening to earn yourself a spot in the final bracket or just have fun and try out Rebel Clash. So number two will still be the same format we've been playing, and 3 and 4 will be Rebel Clash legal, so you guys can try that out, have a good a first official tournament with Rebel Clash, technically speaking, because we don't actually have tournaments with it. Um, so I did not sleep nearly enough, so I woke up. I was pretty tired. And I was streaming with Nico, Alabas, and Miloslav Posledny, and we were just chilling in a Discord call because we all figured it'd be kind of boring to sit through like 14 hours of Pokemon if we were going to stream it and do other things. So definitely from our end, we kind of made the experience a little more fun. We all miss each other. It's been a couple months since we've seen our Pokemon friends, and for someone like me who's used to seeing my European friends every 3 months at an international, and seeing my friends pretty much at least a month, every month, or twice a month at a regional, this is a time where I feel a little bit robbed of my um, seeing my like close friends like Nico and I. Uh, Nico was supposed to come to Charlotte and Toronto and stay at my house in between. We were gonna go to Taco Bell. I was gonna take him to some of these places around my hometown in DC where I enjoy, and like he was gonna take me on Berlin. We had like all these things planned out. Like right now, I should be in Berlin, and that like this experience does not make up for that, but it is definitely something that I have missed. I have missed playing in a competitive tournament setting to some extent, and talking to my friends and like the in between round chatter, the banter. It's not the same, but it is there. Having chat open makes it so people are watching, enjoying along with us. People tweeting about it, people on Facebook talking about it. Uh, it's a lot of things that I really appreciated. So thank you guys to the Limitless crew. I really do appreciate it. There were some server issues early in the day, but I think that was the result of a 8,000 man Smash tournament starting at the same time and the whole site going down. Um, Arcanine Lights had a small issue where like Decklist weren't visible for the first 3 rounds, but they immediately found the issue and rectified it by the time round 4 started. So the first 5 rounds were a little bit shaky, but as soon as that happened, we hit the ground running for the last half. And I know day two, I woke up to hang out with Nico in Discord and watch the games. Um, it ran without a hitch. They finished all their rounds very quickly. So I feel like I have a lot of faith in that they're improving things by the day. And for Limitless Qualifier 2, it'll be even more improved and even more amazing. So you guys definitely should sign up for it if you want to. There's over 1,000 people signed up across 4 pools. And it was a best of one tournament that lasted 20 rounds. They granted everyone who started 2-0 in the last one an advantage by needing one less round to make day two this time around. Ironically enough, the advantage did not matter because no X5s made it to Top Cut. Um, so an X4 record is required to move on to day two regardless. Um, I myself got knocked out in round 11 of the 13 rounds of play on the first day. So needing a 9-4 record, I lost and bubbled out at 6-5. So if you guys want to end the video there, get out. Adios. I understand. Um, I will now pull up my Smash.gg and go through my deck list. So as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Mewtwo. I always have been a huge fan of Mewtwo, and so I kind of took the list that I was testing for Canada, um, and personally working on it. I played this a very similar variation for the Fate of 10 Invitational. If you guys haven't checked that out, check it out as well. I think I've already been knocked out in the video, so I'm not spoiling anything. I placed 5th, 6th in that one out of the 16, quote unquote, like some of the top players in the world. Henry Brand was supposed to participate, but due to timing and some issues on his end, he declined the invitation. Um, so the changes I made from that to this is that I added a Poltergeist Gengar, which and Horror House, which I didn't actually get to use, but the idea was that like if I get to go second and my opponent has a slower start, I can just Horror House into the Poltergeist or Horror House into any other attack on Mewtwo and just end the game right there, or pose a big enough threat where I can command the board. So it's a GX attack that lets me effectively nullify their first turn and I get an extra turn by going second. Um, I streamed my experience, so I'm not going to make VODs of it. If you guys want me to in the comments, let me know. I'll go through, edit, clip it. I can't monetize them because I did have music playing, I believe. So if you guys do want me to do that, I can do that. I can go through and make all VODs of my 11 rounds, edit them out, and post them. Uh, a lot of my starters were suboptimal. I opened this motherfucker like 6 times, I think. Like, I opened this Reshizard a lot. I opened Muckbuck at least once. Like, my starters were pretty suboptimal throughout the day. That's understandable. There's so many basics in the deck. Um, but my opponents also knew my deck list, so it was a little bit tougher for them to play around it, or to play. They knew how to play around it, and it made it tough for me. The list itself is not that difficult. I just cut the weakness card energies, added Adrachi GX to give myself a decent enough Malamar matchup. I added the Viridian Forest um, as well, so to give myself a way to find the Psychic energies. I felt like that's a pretty good 4th Stadium slot. A Resetting Hole was something I considered as well, but nobody really played Power Plant. So this was the list. Nothing too special, I want to say. So I can run through my matchups real quick. Round 1, I went up against Sean Couvert, and he was playing. Let me pull up the list. I don't believe I remember. I think he was playing. Yeah, he was playing ADP, and the match was a little bit anticlimactic. I think he just played a little bit poorly, and things like kind of snowballed into my favor, and I never was in a losing position. Game 2, I went against the Gray Gaming, who was playing Mewtwo Malamar, and the game went really back and forth in a BO1. He did end up going first, I believe, so that it's actually a huge advantage for Mewtwo Malamar, and I did miss the turn 1 knockout, which put me like on a weird prize exchange. So it came down to a position where I needed him to whiff his last switch to snipe me with 170 for the game, and what ended up happening is he Marnied himself into the switch and an energy attachment. And I believe because I had decklist information, I didn't have decklist information yet. I didn't know what his counts were, but I'd already seen 2 boards and 3 switch, so I had to assume there's 1 switch left. And I'd seen enough energy to think there's only 1 energy left in his deck. I think he had the attachment before the Marnie, and then he Marnied into the last switch, switching into the Absol, double dynamotoring, retreating, and then doing the 170. So it came down to that being the only scenario where he wins, and he did have it. So props to him. He did take me down in that one. The third round I went up against Pacosaurus, top top 8 finisher at Worlds this year. Paco was playing a fire deck similar to his Worlds run. He was playing a Macargo GX deck, but he like uber bricked. Didn't really do anything. In a BO1 that does happen. That's why BO3 I think is like more healthy for a competitive tournament environment, but BO1 is good when there's like less judges, less enforcement, less timer rules. So Paco just kind of heavy bricked against me with Macargo, and I just kind of beat him. I didn't have decklist information, so looking at his list now, I did not know that he played a Bryson and Blelba. So had I known that, I probably wouldn't have gone as low in my deck as I did. The next round, I did go up against I don't know how to say his name, but it was Baby Blounce, and basically it was just a game where Baby Blounce basically just ran me over completely, and I couldn't do anything. So I went down to 2-2. The round after, I went up going against a Garchomp Giratina deck that was really weird and interesting with like heavy energies. No way to like cheat the energy system. No expert or no fighting fear like belt. No karate belt, sorry. No counter gain, nothing. So he had to like manually attach 3 times. He had ends resolves, but he didn't see an ends resolve till like super late in the game. So until that, I just kind of like cleaned up his board. and he didn't do anything. I just started tag purging. Apparently, I had game for like 3 turns. I just didn't notice, um, because I was so busy just tag purging and making sure he couldn't take any prizes. So I'm 3-2 at this point, and then I go up against Poke Alex, who is playing Baby Bonds as well. He bricked a lot harder, I believe, and I just kind of took command after he started bricking, and I managed to take him out. And then I went up against Equinox Gaming, who played a ADP Zek, and I think I squeaked that one out. That was a lot closer of a match. Yeah, I squeaked that one out to put myself in a better position. So now I'm 5-2. Then I'm up against Ben McKeechin, who was playing I believe, ADP deck, and the game came down to, once again, like super close, like catcher flippy, um, big charm like things, and I had a super slow start, so Ben just kind of ran away with it. And I think I should have won, but close game, 5-3. And then I go against Athens, who did looks like make day two, at 9-4 after I beat him here. He did play ADP. A couple of mistakes from my opponent. A little bit of slower play. He had positions where like he had like a really good hand, but he didn't do anything with it, and that put myself in a position to kind of just clean out the game. The next round I went up against a mill deck, and I prized pretty poorly, and my bench kind of ended up being really cluttered based on where I started. So he just set up a perfect mill and kind of ran through me, and you know, mill is what it is. I hate it, but the next round I went up against another opponent who moved on to day two. He was playing straight Malamar, it looked like, and the game ended up coming down to the very last turn, where he needed to have like a perfect find the last attacker, find the last switch, find the last energy in deck. I counted everything, and he had all three. Um, I thought I made like a couple of questionable plays where I thought he had used the last Great Catcher, so I didn't snipe his Malamar one of the turns I should have, in my opinion. And he had not used the last Great Catcher. I also not Sycamore, I might have Sycamore, yeah, into like a very thin deck of mine, knowing the last stamp was in the deck, and I did whiff the stamp to put him down to like a 1 card or 2 card hand, um, forcing him to find the Great Catcher that turn, or he loses. But that didn't happen. He had like a 7 card hand, and kind of just popped everything down, used a supporter, found the Great Catcher, and won the game. I thought he used a Great Catcher, so that unfortunately put me at 6-5, knocking me out. Would I play this deck again going into the best of one? I don't think so. I think Mewtwo has a little bit too much variance. Um, in a best of one where you can open a bad starter and the game is kind of over. Um, I think the best play for this event was ADP for sure. And I think a Malamar deck is a close second. Whether it be straight Malamar or a Mewtwo Mali, that is up in the air. But I think Malamar is definitely a deck that is really good. Um, I don't know if your mill matchup is necessarily the greatest. I don't know if mill is necessarily a good deck. I don't know why you people are playing mill, but either way, I hope everyone had fun with the tournament. What I'm going to be doing is also I'm building old decks right now, so I'm kind of going through some nostalgia, and so I'm going to be doing some videos on running back through some of my older decks that I played and how I would improve them personally, or what tournament I played them at, and like what nostalgia factors they had. Let me know in the chat, like comments below, if that's something you guys would like to see in the replies below. So just let me know on these things. There's some stuff I want to try out with the content creation angle. Um, yeah, just let me know if you want to see the old deck bonanza a little bit more, and the VOD reviews of my own games, or like Nico's games or something, like, or I can co-stream these with Nico and kind of record them and kind of talk about like a VOD review of some of these games. So we can do a little bit of those, to put out some video content. Um, and let me know if you guys wanted me to stream the second invitation if I do play it, or simply just record it and upload it to YouTube. I will be playing the third one for sure when Rebel Clash comes out. I don't know if I'll be playing the second one, and playing this format again. I would like to, because I do enjoy playing the game, but it just is a huge time commitment. So I will have to see on my end. But until then, thank you guys for watching. I am playing a PCR to um, to. I'm playing 2017 NAIC format tournament as well, so I can record those games if you'd like me to, and post them to the YouTube if you'd like me. But until later, thank you guys so much for watching. A lot of things I'll post them in the comments, um, and the when I make my post. So check them out. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and have a safe time. Bye guys.